his eyes following its descent down the grassy bank. There, by the river's edge, sat a man about his own age, slumped in a wheelchair, an open bag of sliced bread at his side, now the prize of fighting seagulls. Hair the colour of aluminium foil waved carelessly in the breeze, with a matching, neatly trimmed moustache sitting below a substantial nose. The man's narrow face tilted to the side, one large ear directed at the sky like a wrinkly satellite dish. His watery blue eyes, magnified behind thick round glasses, were slightly open and appeared to be squinting at something. Fred stepped closer. "Hello, you all right there, mate?" The lack of response alongside the stair, which was as vacant as Fred's flat would be tonight, said that he wasn't. Fred always took great joy in meeting new people, but usually they were alive. He stooped down, craned his saggy neck forward, and peered into the man's eyes. Yep, definitely dead. His breath, or lack thereof, smelt of tuna and Vegemite. A long strand of drool from his open mouth had made a damp patch on his blue flannel shirt. Fred's pulse quickened as he stared down at the torn piece of bread that sat abandoned on the bloke's lap. He swallowed hard. More troubling than the realisation that he was face to face with a dead body was the niggling feeling that he knew the man. He looked so very familiar. A babble of voices sounded from further up the riverbank near the barbecues. Some old folks in knitted cardigans sat on parked walking frames, crocheted blankets over their knees. Two women in turquoise uniforms poured them tea from a thermos and handed out biscuits. Fred's tummy growled. Behind them in the distance stood a minibus with Wattle River Nursing Home painted in big navy blue letters along the side. The old boy must belong to them. Taking a deep breath, Fred grasped the handles of the wheelchair and pushed the old man towards them. They would surely know what to do. It was an unusually warm April day, and beads of sweat prickled his skin. He hadn't exerted this much force in years, except for that time on the toilet when his back passage had been so clogged up the neighbours had called emergency services, fearing his wails were that of a woman in labour. "Mind this for me, would you, mate?" he said as he removed his heavy jacket and laid it over the man's shoulder. He pushed on. A flash of grey and white appeared as a bold seagull made off with the bread from the man's lap. With a sudden rush of air, an entire flock descended upon them, a whip of feathers assaulting Fred's face. "Go on, get out, you mongrels!" Fred blurted, trying to dodge a second group attack. He grabbed the stale Vegemite scroll he'd been saving for lunch from his pocket and threw it at the birds in an attempt to divert them. The wheelchair gave a sudden jerk and tipped sideways, flinging its occupant out like a discarded piece of wrinkly fruit. The body tumbled down the bank, landing half submerged, his yellow-trousered bottom pointing upwards towards the sky. "Bugger! Bother! Blast!" Fred ambled down the bank and, with a gargantuan effort, tried to haul the man out, the immense physical strain causing Fred to pass wind repeatedly, bringing to mind last night's dinner, the single remaining item in his pantry, a tin of home-brand baked beans. He apologised profusely between each emission before realising whom he was talking to. "Lucky for you can't smell, old boy." Fred could always find the silver lining in things. With one almighty tug, he fell backwards onto the grass, pain searing through his skull as the side of his head knocked against a rock. When the body slipped from his grasp and was taken by the current, it was only Fred's eyes that screamed. His mouth, along with the rest of his body, froze, as if meeting liquid nitrogen. The blob of silver, blue and